what covers songs do you do live, and are you going to record any of those?
I wouldn't see any covers being recorded in the future. We're more of an original band. That's kind of where we come from, but the covers are more for just entertainment purposes.
Yeah, some people me personally, I don't like to play covers.
I hear you. I hate it.
I'm like, I don't like that guy coming up after the show going, man, I really love the way y'all did so-and-so song. I want him to come up and, hey, man, I love that third, fourth song that y'all did. Let me buy a CD. That's what.
Yeah.
But in this town, like you said, the music scene is limited. So if you throw a couple of those in, then you could draw the other people in to listen to what you have to say, and they'll be like, oh, they did that song cool. Whoa, look at this original shit.
Right. No, I hear you. Yeah, it has its benefits. I guess it has its downfalls too, because if it's a popular song or someone knows it, they're going to judge you a little differently if they don't like the way you did the song. So
it's a good way to reel them in too. There may be a guy in the bar that likes, that happens to like that one cover song.
Right. Right.
And he really didn't have any interest in listening to anything that we were playing, but he heard.
He goes, pull the Rage song off.
He heard Killing in the Name of by Rage Against the Machine by this metal band. He's like, oh, hell, I love that song. He goes out there and he starts getting into it. The blood starts pumping. Next thing you know, he's a 1,000 Pound South fan. He's buying a CD and wearing our shirts. Right. Possibly getting a 1,000 Pound South tattoo on his face.
We usually do covers better than the original, so.
Yeah, that's how, I mean, whenever I did covers or anything like that, I always felt I did them better. I don't know, but because you can kind of reproduce it in your head and say, that's missing this, you should have did this, but it's all to everybody's interpretation, I guess. But so what are some of the bands that influence you guys, either locally or a national band?
I think we all kind of.
We're strictly hip hop.
Yeah.
A lot of Wu-Tang Clan.
I got a Wu-Tang Clan shirt on.
Yeah.
That's funny.
That's where your best metal comes from.
I think as a singer, I think like Chris Cornell or somebody like that is probably, I think, one of the greatest singers of our time, pretty much.
As far as me, for the guitar, I really love, stuff like Cold Chamber, Propane, stuff like that, Crowbar.
Cool. So now the singer's name is Shane, right?
Yeah.
So you mentioned Chris Cornell. I haven't heard you sing yet, so is that something that maybe vocally you sound like, or that's just one of your influences?
Maybe just one of the influences. I could pretty much sound, I don't know, any different style. I could sing country, I could rap, I can do metal. So to me, it's like appreciation of anybody that's good in their field, those right. Appreciating that field, so you give the respect or whatever. But yeah, I think he's one of my influences. Like,
I'm influenced by Michael Jackson, but I don't. I don't drum like him. I don't know. He probably has a machine,
That's funny. That's funny. When I was a kid, I gotta admit I was a big Michael Jackson fan, but you gotta grow up sometimes.
I had the jacket. I didn't have the glove.
I think I had a glove. I probably had a jacket and shit like that. But you're 9 years old. What do you want from me?
People always told me, be careful what you do.
But
sing like you.
That's funny. So Shane, what is some of the stuff you did before you came to 1,000 Pound South?
Mainly around here, I was just in a few cover bands. I was actually in the penitentiary for 4 years, and we had a band program, so that's really where I got my start. We could jam like 7 days a week, 2 or 3 hours a day, and there were some badasses in there, So we perform in front of the whole penitentiary, like Christmas, Thanksgiving, 4th of July. So my big first metal experience was like we were doing whatever song we can learn in there, you know, like so that somebody snuck in this tape or the guard would bring this. Here's this Alice in Chains CD or whatever. So, but we were doing like spots hit the floor and like all the Aryan brothers were throwing each other off the bleachers and jumping, and the guards were running in, pull the cord, shut it down. We just kept playing. It was like a fucking riot. Signing autographs in that motherfucker is like
perfect. That's some Johnny. That's some Johnny Cash style shit right there. The only difference is Johnny Cash wasn't. He could leave the bars, you know, when he was done. But oh well, we won't get into that.
He's been rehabilitated.
I just can't be around firearms.
That's got to be hard where you guys are from.
It's hard when you're living in Texas.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And he's not allowed 100 feet near a school.
Yeah, once I made the mistake of getting a bass player that wasn't allowed near anybody under the age of 16, so that was a bad move.
Another job in the penitentiary, I was a tutor. I helped inmates get GEDs, and that was another. You know,
so he's a smart
other program.
Intellectual inmate.
No, but since then, like a couple of cover bands, I was in a couple of original metal, you know, just like more like a Metallica or that heavy or whatever original bands, but just never had put the pieces together. And these guys, I came right in, I was like listening to the material, I was like, fuck, these guys are ready right now, man. This was like the perfect mix.
Cool. Yeah, so that's awesome. I'm glad that everything's working out for the band and shit. So I can't wait to get more material for the show. So now, do you guys, excuse me, do you go into an actual studio, or is this something you guys have built into your house?
Well, we use Black Rose Studios. It's in a town over from us. A guy named Jacob Back. Awesome engineer. I mean, he did the last one, and you know he's got his own personal studio in the back of his house, and top notch.
When do you plan on maybe releasing a CD?
A full length CD. I guess we'll just take it one song at a time, and once we get, I don't know, probably at least about maybe 7 or 8 songs, we'll throw it all together, get some artwork, and release it as a full CD.
Cool.
We're just taking it one song at a time for now.
So
we're not the richest men in the world, you know, so it costs money, and you know, of course, everybody knows that.
Yeah, unfortunately, it costs more than you're gonna likely get back, but that's how it goes.
Yeah.
Are you gonna do it? Go ahead.
Oh, I was saying we had a real good experience with Jacob Back. He did a really good job, and he was able to deliver what we wanted in the sound. I mean, you've heard it.
Yeah, no, I mean, the track sounds awesome. It's definitely produced very well. And that's one of the things that struck me because, you know, getting a lot of submissions every week for a show, it's, you know, I got lucky going to Cold Cock and making that affiliation there because a lot of the bands are actually really good. And I don't think there was a band from Cold Cock that was submitted that I didn't play. But it's hard on my end getting 100 emails every other day and trying to sift through this stuff. So when something stands out, it's definitely a good thing. So there's a lot of shit out there.
Yeah. Yeah, there is, yeah.
But I mean, even, you know, a few weeks ago, I got this song from a guy. I didn't know if it was real or not, and I made a post on it, and everybody wanted to hear it, so I was sending it privately out. I was dumbfounded at, you know, what people send and actually think is good material. But I always say, who am I to judge it? I mean, if he had the nerve to send it, someone had to tell him it was good. But I really should play this one on the air.
Brother.
Grandma don't count.
Grandma, you sound so good.
Sonny boy,
you need to make a record,
You've been
boy.
practicing good, Sonny boy.
You know what it is? It's people being told to, oh yeah, anybody can sound good using Pro Tools. You still not have to know how to use it, and you still somewhat have to know how to play an instrument. To me, I don't know. I come from the era where I play my shit. I mean, I'm not saying I never, programmed anything on a computer, but when you do it, demoing alone and shit, sometimes you don't have a choice. But I prefer to play my instruments. That's just me.
Yeah, we took an approach when we went in there that we really didn't want to cheat on anything, or we wanted to play our instrument and be as true to what we're doing as much as possible.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, as far as that goes, do you guys just keep it basic on your equipment, or is it something that you guys are lugging a shit ton of equipment?
We kept it basic because some people, they'll play a verse right, and then they'll have them loop it on the next go around after the a chorus, and they'll doing things like that. It's pretty cheating. We wanted a real good mix that was a little more
live sounding.
I guess I don't know if you'd say live sounding, but I mean it does sound, of course, like it's in a studio. We just we wanted to stay true and not him be cutting and pasting all the time, stuff like that. But
right? Yeah, because
there was none of that going on. We all played our own stuff and used our own gear, and it was a real Holyfield.
I think it makes a musician feel better to play the song all the way through than sit there and watch someone copy and paste and loop the stuff. And if it's needed, I can see, some editing or something like that. You want to cut out some finger scratching on the string or something, but
yeah, we didn't play that. We didn't play that role. We want to stay true to it, and it shows,
we didn't want to put anything out there that we can't do for you live. I mean, if we can't do it live, then
right. I agree with that. I mean, because when you put out a CD and people are paying to see a show, they expect to hear at least something close to what was put on a CD and not a completely different version. Sometimes that you're waiting to hear that one song and you're like, what the fuck did they just do?
We're starting to create a mini Slayer following. Like, we have some fans that are like, if we don't play it just right, they'll critique us, like, which we do a good job of doing what we do, but they're gun ho, and
if I miss a note after the show, they're like, "Hey man, right there on that one spot, man.
You messed
what the
up.
hell?
What the fuck was that?" Or hey, why don't you play that drum roll the same way, that drum fill, or anyway like that. I mean, we have some pretty hardcore fans. But it's fun. It's cool. They like to stay involved, and
So when you guys play out, do you guys bring? I'm assuming you guys bring a lot of people out to the bars and whatnot.
Yes, we have a good following as well. And what's cool about having our new vocalist come in, the bands that he was in, he had a lot of followers as far as in the bands he was in, and he's been able to let them know about the new band that he's currently in. So kind of same kind of deal that I did whenever I came over into the band. And same as Ron,
Right.
Each one of us, Dub's the original,
Right. I started the band.
Yeah, Dub started the band. And as we all came in, we're like, hey, I got this band over here, and reel them in towards what we're doing currently,
Right.
Dub's surrounded by rock stars right now.
Yeah.
I
I'm the
mean,
least experienced guy in the band, so I'm like, hey, whatever.
Surrounded by a bunch of local heroes.
that's funny. But I mean, that's a lot easier now to do that than it was back in the day, because you got social media. There's a way to get it out there. It was hard, when you had a hand draw a flyer and put it on a pole and say, hey, I'm in this band now. But that it's awesome that it's a lot easier these days. But again, bands have to cut through all the bullshit and all the other bands to get their name out there. So that's one of the harder things, is because now everybody has a radio show. Everybody's got a band. Everybody's a comedian. Everybody's a YouTube millionaire. It's like,